Hi friends, last day one of my students asked me a very important question. Sir, how can I interpret a text from feminist context? It was a very good question. And so I thought very seriously and I have formulated a format or you can say a statement. Using it, you can interpret any text in feminist perspective. So the formula, or you can say the tip, or you can say the statement, or you can say the state sentence is I am a disco dancer. Oh, let me repeat. The sentence is I am a disco dancer. So I stands for identity. You have to discuss the identity of Vasudha as far as the text 7 steps in the sky is concerned. You have to discuss the identity issues of Vasudha. Is she searching for her identity? Is there any quest for identity in the text? And what are her strategies to sustain or you can say consolidate her identity in the text? Then we have A. A stands for you can say alienation, how she is alienated or how she is you can say isolated from the society, from her family, how her loneliness is reflected in the text. Then we have M. M is for marginalization, how she is marginalized from her family, from society, which is patriarchal, right? So you have to discuss and debate the issue of marginalization in the text, right? Then we have A. A is for approval. Is she ready to get approvals from her family? These, you can say, this is a very important issue where a woman has to take approvals regarding her desires, regarding her hopes, regarding her expectations, regarding, you can say, her ambitions in life. She has to take constantly some approvals from her family. So the issue of approval is very important in Kundanika Kapadia's 7 steps in the sky. So you have to discuss it in your answer. Then we have a word called D, and D is for discrimination. So how she is discriminated from her family members, how she is discriminated from the man, including her husband, women. So the issue of discrimination is very important in the text. So you have to explore how she is facing constant or continuous discrimination from society, from the world where she finds a constant domination by the men. Okay, then we have I, and I stands for ignorance. The text is a saga of her complete, you can say, ignorance from her society. So her hopes, her expectations, her, you can say, her beliefs are uh, ignored by her husband as well as her family. Her identity is always ignored in her family, right? So this ignorance is a very significant issue in Kapadia's 7 steps in the sky. Then we have issue of segregation, and segregation, the word, right, starts from letter S, right? So letter S is very important, and S is for segregation. Is she segregated from her family? Is she segregated from her society, right? So how the woman is segregated from the man-made world, right? In Indian families. So this issue must be debated in your answer. Then we have commodification. The issue of commodification means thingsification, means uh, consider the woman as an object, right? That is very important, and it is explored in the text, and so how she is considered to be an object or to be a kind of domestic servant, right? In the text, how Vyoma is considered his wife Vasudha as a domestic object. So important aspect of the neck of the novel, of the text, you must discuss it in your answer. Then we have oppression, right? Is she oppressed socially, economically, emotionally, mentally, right? And what are the reasons for her oppression? What are the reasons for this violent kind of oppression, right? In the text. So you have to discuss about it. You have to debate regarding the rights of the woman, right? So we have the word D. Is the text a debate on the rights of women? Is the text a debate on equality in society? So D is for debate. Then we have also another word that is called decoding, right? Does the writer decode some stereotyped notions about women in the text? So this is very, you can say, this can be very in-depth analysis, right? If you discuss the issue of decoding the codes which are formulated by the man, right? Here we have, you can say, uh, the mainstream man and the marginality, or you can say the periphery, the woman. And you have to find out which are the societal, or you can say cultural codes which are responsible for the enslaving of the woman, right? So you have to talk about this in your, you can say, answer. Then we have also very important issue, and that is called difference, right? So is there any description in the text which shows the difference between man and woman? Oh my god, the difference between man and woman is massively described by Kapadia, right? So you have to show in your answer how Vasudha is differentiated, or Vasudha has to face difference from society, from her husband, from the man in the novel. Then we have A, right? And A is for approval, or you can say appropriation. So, is there any description in the text where we can find the appropriation of man formulated, or you can say male formulated codes of society, or this appropriation is accepted by Vasudha? That is also very important question. So does Vasudha accept such kind of appropriation of patriarchal values, patriarchal codes, right? You have to discuss this also into your answer. Then N is for negligence. Is she a neglected character in the text? Or is she a neglected woman in her family? And how she reacts against her neglect, right? So this is very important, right? We have also another word for N, that is naturalization. Generally, the woman is naturalized, right? And she now finds all this victimization appropriate in society, and she adjusts to this stereotype male made or male centered or male dominated codes and conducts in society. And that is an important issue. So we have to find out, is there any naturalization in the novel, or is Vasudha naturalized, right? And if she is not, then how she reacts against the woman's naturalization, or you can say adjustment in the man-made world. Then we have C. The word C. C is chronicle, right? So is the text a chronicle or a tragic chronicle of woman's suffering? Is it reflecting the saga of suffering in the case of Pasudha and other women, right? So you have to discuss about this. Then you have also one word, very important word, that is center. So the word, as I have discussed, you can say earlier, the word center and marginal, right? These are very important in the text called Seven Steps in the Sky. So you have to discuss who is at the center and why Vasudha wants to be at the center. So this should be written in your answer. These aspects should be covered, right, in your answer. And then we have uh, the word E. E stands for many words. These, for example, elimination, education, exploitation, empowering, right? These four issues must be discussed in keeping in mind your text, Kundanika Kapadia's Seven Steps in the Sky. So, is it a kind of education initiative by the writer, or is Vasudha educating to other women or other women, you can say, uh, about their freedom, their identity, right? So, is it a kind of, you can say, writer's attempt, or you can say, sincere attempt to empower the woman as far as India is concerned, right? Or is it just, you can say, just description of exploitation of women, right? And she tries to expose, you can say, Indian society in which men are at the center. They dominate the center, or you can say they dominate the social world, and they regulate it, they control it, right? Then this E word, very important. Then we have last, and the last letter is R, and R stands for resistance. Does Vasudha resist against the patriarchal or the man-made codes? Is she powerful to resist against these societal norms, which are, you can say, which are consolidated in Indian society from, you can say, from ancient time? And that's why we have a very important issue in any text concerning or centering the woman, right? We have the issue of resistance, right? Resistance against the injustice, her exploitation, whether it can be social exploitation, you can say psychological exploitation, you can say educational exploitation, you can also say, for example, cultural or religious exploitation, right? Are there some issues concerning exploitation and resistance, right? So you have to discuss about this marginalization, right? And we have one important, you can say, three important words, right? And these are, you can say, exploitation, victimization, and marginalization, properly called EVM: exploitation, victimization, and marginalization in the text. You have to discuss in your answer. Then you have to also mention or point out some textual quotations, and you can say what Vasudha says about what, or you can say how she reacts against the violence, physical or you can say mental, how she resists against the patriarchal norms. You have to describe her statements. You have to point out her, you can say, statements from the text. Then, to decorate, or you can say to make your answer very attractive, you have to also point out some statements by well-known feminists like Simone de Beauvoir and other Indian feminists, right? So you can discuss some issues, or you can say some statements by Cat Millett, Simone de Beauvoir, and well-known feminists. So thank you so much once again. Let me tell you the formula. The formula is I am a disco dancer. Let me repeat once again. I am a disco dancer. I stands for identity. A stands for alienation. M stands for marginalization. Then D, discrimination. I, ignored. S, segregation. C, commodification. Right? Then O, oppression. Oppression. Then we have D. D is for debate or debating or decoding. Then we have A for approval or appropriation, then N for negligence or you can say naturalization, that, then C for chronicle, all right, then E for education, empowerment, exploitation, okay, then R, last letter, stands for resistance. Let me repeat once again. I am a disco dancer. Then last request. If you like it, subscribe. Thank you.